It is Tuesday, August the 28th, 2018, a little after 6 o'clock, and I am once again out here in front of the AMC taking advantage of their half-price Tuesday. Today, I'm going in to see The Meg. Joining me today is my famous co-host. Clatters is actually going to be joining me on a current movie review. You guys seem to really like him, so why not use him more, right? Take a bow. Here we go. Alright, so the word Meg in this case is not short for Megan, as in Megan Fox or anything like that. It is actually short for Megalodon, or prehistoric giant shark. Okay, you weren't kidding me when you told me that you were afraid of scary movies. But don't worry, Clatters, this is not horror scary, this is more kaiju monster scary, so... And I'll be right here along with you the entire time. You gonna be okay? Alright, so let's go on in and enjoy this movie. And of course, turn the camera on right afterwards and give you guys our thoughts on the movie. Now, with all the audiobooks that I listened to, I did listen to one that was entitled Meg, or The Meg, and it was about the capturing of a giant prehistoric megalodon, and the chances are pretty good that was what this movie is based on, so I kind of know what to expect going in. That is, if they are at all loyal to the original story. So, here we go. You ready for this? Alright, we're going in. Well, we are back in the truck now, guys. It just got out of the movie, and, well... Was it as bad as you thought? Wasn't nearly as scary, right? It was more of a monster movie, just like I said, huh? Well, you survive okay? Alright, so what did I think of the movie? First thoughts are this. This was a meat and potatoes movie. Let me explain what I'm talking about there. If you were to take a lot of the hit movies that we've had recently, the big action movies, the Marvel movies, the ones that put you right into the action and just keep it going and keep the colors bright and the feeling light and the action going and the humor going like the Marvel movies, and you consider that the cake movie. That's the cake with the thick frosting. That's the fun movies. But who wants to eat nothing but cake all the time? This was a meat and potatoes movie. This movie had people being human, being vulnerable, loving their family, having their friends die, mourning, sacrificing for family. It had the feels. It had the feels. And I'm going to say this too. This movie was not a reboot of something that ended in the 90s. It's not a movie adaptation of an 80s sitcom. It's not adapted from a comic book. It is good, old-fashioned, novel, modernized, made into a movie, cared about, done well, and I love it for that. I just love it for that, because we need more of that. We need more of that now, don't we? Yes. We are getting tired of rehashing stuff from the 80s and 90s. We want to see some original stuff, and somebody did it. They took a chance. They put a lot of money into it, and they did it well. I hope this movie makes a lot of money. Moving into spoiler territory, guys, so if you haven't seen this yet, turn this off now. So was this movie indeed loyal to the book? And yes, this is indeed the same audiobook that I listened to. I recognized a lot of the plot points. It is the same book. So, was it loyal to the book? Yes, it was loyal to the book in all of the right ways. And I'm going to say this, and I don't say this often. I don't say this often unless it's a Roald Dahl movie. But the movie was actually better than the book. Yeah, I said it. I know, surprising, right? It had to kind of work its way through tropes and cliches that we could have lost interest because of. And by that, I'm talking about like the traumatized hero that is now in retirement and drinking too much and has to be coerced back into action. We've seen that a million times. It had the evil, lying billionaire. Oh my goodness, capitalism is such a terrible thing, isn't it? For capitalism, you wouldn't have been able to make that darn movie. Okay. It had the evil billionaire that was money hungry and lying. We've seen that a million times too, right? It had the hero, and the part of the thing that traumatized him was something that nobody else believed and thought he was crazy for. We've seen that. We saw him come back to save an ex-wife that left him for sordid reasons. Oh my goodness, there were cliches. And all of those cliches were, in fact, in the book. And so that's what it had to work with. And in spite of all those campy cliches, this movie made you actually feel for the characters. You kind of understood them, and you kind of built a relationship with those characters. And then when they started dying, you felt it. And that is what a movie is supposed to do. In this movie actually made you connect with the characters so much that in fleeting moments, little glances at the camera and little interactions, they actually made you feel a connection to even just the people on the beach, even just the little kid in his little inner tube sucking on his sucker, going out, and you see him interacting with his mom first, and you see her panicking and worrying about him whenever the megalodon is circling the people at the beach and eating people, and the teenagers trying to flirt with the girls over on the other raft, and you actually just in those fleeting moments, you start to feel a connection with those little characters. And then when they start getting eaten, you feel it. And that was just them. All the main characters too, man. The main characters, I actually cried a little bit when Zahing's father died. Dr. Zhang, I think his name was, Zahang. Dr. Zahang died. And it wasn't just a death. It wasn't, oh, the monster just killed somebody else. It hit you. It hit you right here. And this was in a giant shark movie. All right, I'm talking in circles at this point, so let me go ahead and wrap this up. This movie did have a few little downfalls, and one of them was the character DJ, the panicking guy, the one that worked on an ocean research facility and did not know how to swim. And he was like the one that was always yelling, why don't we just forget all this and just evacuate and do like normal people and move to an area of safety. And I think their idea for that character was that he was supposed to be the voice of the person watching the movie. When they were thinking, that's what I would do. I would just get the heck out of there. And so they had this character in there to be the voice of the viewer, but he just came across as annoying. Also, something else they did in the movie that was better than the book is that they toned down the bikinis and the sex that was in the book. I think because of what happened to Into the Blue, where people were like, "Oh, this is just a shark movie with a bunch of TNA, and that's how they're trying to sell their tickets." So they didn't do that. They sold the movie on the story and on the characters, and they toned down the sex and the bikinis, and I think it was better for it. Also, the ending, guys. Big spoiler here, just fair warning. The ending, they did better than the book. The ending of the book was not very good. It was very campy. What Jonas ended up doing was taking his miniature submarine and pointing it straight at the megalodon's mouth and shooting straight in, and then popping the hatch and using a rebreather oxygen or something to actually get into the organs of the megalodon, and then take, I think he had a megalodon tooth that he kept as a talisman, and he yanks that off and actually cuts arteries in the megalodon's heart manually and kills it from the inside, and then somehow makes it back out of the mouth. Now, if they had tried to do that in the movie, there would have been a bunch of people going, BS! Yeah, right. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. But they did not do that in the movie. They actually fixed it. Not only in the book did he swim back out of the mouth, but he was having a hard time getting back to the surface, and his love interest of the book actually swam down to him in a bikini and aided him getting back to the surface. And that also would have been something terrible to have done in the movie, and they did not do that. They fixed that as well. So I'm going to say big kudos to that. Improving a book and making a movie that is better than the book. All right, did you have anything to add? I did not realize you were that far into the technical side of things. Okay, Clatters wants me to mention that the way the Megalodon actually made it through the cold barrier in the book was through blood. There was, I think, a giant, either a whale or a squid or something that got caught in a tow cable, and the Megalodon started coming up in the blood and made it through the cold barrier because he was in warm blood. But in the movie, they made it to where the tow ship actually disrupted an underwater geyser and shot heat through the cold barrier, and that's how the two Megalodons made it through in the movie. Which one do you think would have been better in this case? Yeah, I think the blood would have been better. The blood, I think, would have been a little more in keeping with the theme of a monster movie. I think they made a little bit of a mistake there. They should have been a little bit more loyal to the book, in that one sense, at least. Also, this movie kind of made me want to rewatch Abyss. If you haven't seen Abyss yet, find it, watch Abyss. It's got a lot of cool things in it that are also in Meg. So if you enjoy one, you will enjoy the other. And that is going to be it for this one, guys. I'm going to give this one a full 9 out of 10. And that's not often that I do that for a movie. That is not, say, a Marvel movie or something like that. But this one deserves it. This one gets a full 9 out of 10. So please, go see it. Reward these guys for doing something that's not a rehash of something from the 80s and 90s. Go watch the movie. I think you will enjoy it. Get ready to feel. Please, don't forget to smash that like button. Leave comments, leave questions, leave suggestions. Subscribe if you haven't already. And ding that bell icon to start receiving notifications. Share this vlog around. I love you all very much, and I will see you again in the next video. Take one more bow. Clatters the trash panda, everyone.